Slamet Paggy, Mio here.
And Keto here to tell you that the Godzilla anime movies are a mixed bag. A mixed bag of crap!
Some of you in the audience may not know that Godzilla has anime movies, in which case you should consider yourself lucky.
Now this video just features our opinion, and that's not saying that our opinion should affect your opinion.
However, since this is our video, it is our opinion that matters.
Unless, of course, you want to like and comment and stuff like that.
Now, let us explain.
The anime opening is pretty strong. It just kind of throws us into the situation.
We have our strong-willed protagonist going against the higher-ups in a bid to stop someone he loves from potentially dying on the surface of a planet, and it seems that we are on a spaceship. However, he fails, and then we get a bunch of tasty backstory about how back on the planet Earth, decades ago, classic Godzilla monsters started to rise and attack humanity.
And then we are told that Godzilla appears and starts destroying everything. Everything! The aliens, the Axif, and the Billisugudo, or whatever, show up to try to help humanity defeat the monsters, including Godzilla, for their own personal reasons. The United Species build Mechagodzilla, but in the end, they are defeated by Godzilla's pure destructive power, and they have to evacuate the planet Earth.
That all sounds pretty cool for a prologue. I certainly hope the rest of the series can live up to the hype.
The series is about humanity along with the space aliens returning to Earth to try to defeat Godzilla as their last resort. Also, a neat premise, that they do nothing with. Well, I mean, not nothing. There's a lot about these movies that are kind of neat. The first movie is a pretty good setup with a pretty neat twist. Can you do the twist?
What are you talking about? Anyway, the second one has them attempt to revive a failed Mechagodzilla with lots of neat human character stuff, and the aliens, called the Billisugudo or whatever, have a pretty interesting story in there too.
The third brings in King Ghidorah and humanity's last stand against the monsters, and the Axif reveal their true intentions. Ooh.
If you think that sounds pretty pog, as the kids say, you would be
disappointed. I'll tell you what you see a lot of: people talking. Not like, oh, this is cinema talking. I just mean anime, let me say some nonsense and/or let me provide some exposition dialogue.
Hold on, let me explain. Our main character is, I don't know what that breath was. Haruro is our main character. He's a bit of an Eren Yeager, if you will.
You sussy baka.
Or rather, what people think Eren Yeager is like.
Bro is literally not me. His personality is, are we made to suffer?
How do we suffer on? Living on borrowed time, haunted by the memories of the dead. Why are we still alive?
Alright, now let's briefly talk about the movies. I mean, we already did, but let's talk about them a bit more to explain the problems. It's not going to be a long essay, but more of a short, friendly chat. Like, sit down next to the fire. Hey guys, how you all doing?
You sound like you're about to kill them.
What?
Before we start, it's worth mentioning, by the way, that the people who made this anime didn't even like Godzilla, or at least one of the people didn't. This begs the question, why were they chosen?
I have no idea. The first movie drags its feet like it's off to the execution block. It's sort of an anime pilot, I guess, for the trilogy, so, anime like to take their time. However, it doesn't fill the time with anything really meaningful that's going to stop me from falling asleep.
They encounter some Earth monsters, as indicated by the name Monster Planet. I'm sure you could have figured that one out. However, what was not indicated by the title was that there would only be 2 monsters in the movie. Godzilla, one big and one small, and some flying creatures that are also technically Godzilla in DNA.
So technically only one creature, I guess.
Remember all these cool creatures in the prologue? They never pop up. In fact, I think canonically, they all are dead. What a waste.
Okay, hold on. The ending battle scene is pretty okay, and the final reveal is, dare I say, great. Best thing in the whole trilogy. It's all downhill from here.
These movies have a bit of a psychological undertone that occasionally takes over the story and crashes into a pretentious wall made of the writer's massive hubris. For instance, in the second movie, City on the Edge of Battle, it could have been an epic battle with Mechagodzilla, which in this case is a huge super weapon that the humans in Billisugudo created to destroy Godzilla, but it ended up failing, but has, roughly 20,000 years to evolve along with Godzilla. That doesn't happen.
You see, they return in the second movie, and they reawaken the Mechagodzilla as intended, but the nanometal has become fully sentient and has created a small city. Pretty interesting. In the end, they hatch a new plan that doesn't involve the individual Mechagodzilla as they intended, but instead they use the city's capability to reenact the same plan they used in the first movie, which is a bit lame. We just redo the scene.
So no Godzilla fighting Mechagodzilla, just some more flying shenanigans. There are some pretty interesting ideas, something about how the technology that reaches a certain point becomes just as destructive as Godzilla and how species are destined to wipe themselves out. But it would have been cooler to see that symbolized in an actual kaiju battle. I mean, I don't know, when I watched Godzilla, I like kaiju, you know, more than psychological stuff.
But whatever, and we're on to the last movie, and as you've noticed, we haven't seen many kaiju, and overall there are only 4 who make major appearances in the main narrative, all of them very brief.
Godzilla has the most screen time, then we have Mechagodzilla, kind of. The Servum, the little flying thing based off of Godzilla, whatever. The Servum, who appear for a bit, and King Ghidorah, who doesn't do too terribly much.
In fact, the only kaiju fight in the series, if it can be called that, is in the final movie, where Godzilla gets hugged by King Ghidorah.
Aww.
That's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
So precious.
It's pretty boring for the most part. That's partially because the fight isn't interesting, and partially because the movie feels so dang slow.
Very boring overall.
I don't know why I'm sounding so angry.
I don't know either. Calm down. Even though there are some similar themes carried from the last movie, which are pretty interesting, and it introduces the Exif as an evil death cult that worships Ghidorah.
Just so you know, Exif with the other alien species.
Yeah, rather interesting concepts that found their way into the dreary wasteland of this trilogy, where they died of starvation.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. In the end, the main protagonist kills himself in Minecraft, and his comatose girlfriend
Also dies in Minecraft.
to leave humanity to breed with the remnant moth humans. Also, he may or may not have been inappropriately touched by one of the girls and leaves behind a son. I guess that's a little bit more than inappropriate touching.
Revisiting this was a trip. Alright, anyway, how did this disaster come to be? Well, earlier we said how we had no idea, which we didn't at the time of writing that part of the script. Now we know. Well, one of the directors had never seen a Godzilla movie, and so didn't know too much about the source material. And then Toho, the company who owns Godzilla, gave them both strict orders not to have any kaiju fights in these movies.
If it were up to them, apparently, they would have had Godzilla fight Mechagodzilla in some proper fisticuffs. But Toho said, "No, not gonna happen."
It seems behind the scenes that Toho really wanted to have some anime creators try to make something totally new and unique from everything else in the Godzilla franchise. However, in the end, they missed the mark by a long shot, at least in our opinion. Godzilla's fun visuals are a huge part of the appeal, and getting rid of the monster action.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
Also, while there are some really good ideas in the series, I would say there weren't enough ideas, so they got stretched out way too thin.
Listen. Sit down next to the fire again. Come on, son, sit down. How's your day? Okay. Toho took a big risk, and I respect that. That's all I respect about this trilogy.
I also wouldn't hold in too much against the directors, to be fair. They certainly could have done better, even with the stipulations, but they also could have done a lot worse, I'm sure.
But what do you think? Now it's your turn to tell us your opinion in the comments.
I know we didn't go into a full-on plot analysis of these movies. That's because there's 3 movies, and that's too much time. But I don't know, maybe we'll do that sometime if this video pops off or whatever.
If these movies did sound interesting to you though, we did kind of spoil some things. However, there's lots we didn't talk about and spoil, so if you really want to check them out, they are on Netflix. In addition, we figured out that one of the creators went on to create a Gamera series, which is another kaiju series close to our heart. If this video gets some traction, I don't know, around 100 likes or so, we will check out the Netflix Gamera series and talk about our opinions on that.
And there's Pacific Rim and another Godzilla anime series. Lots of stuff to talk about, so maybe in the future. So that ends this video. You should go check this video out over here. And the Wise Words of Mothra, who barely appeared in this series.
Goodbye.